As you know from reading the title, this video is about Destiny 2's The Crucible and what I like about it. I would just like to start off saying I really did not like Destiny 1, and even though I didn't like Destiny 1, I particularly hated the way they did The Crucible. There was way too much like Halo. It had very few viable options in my opinion. The Gjallarhorn was fucking obnoxious. There were shit rewards for doing anything, and the maps were totally ass. That's most of my bitching and moaning out of the way. I would also like to say that at the very beginning, I really didn't like Destiny 2's Crucible either. I thought it was too chaotic. I thought using shotguns or scouts were pretty much the only thing that you could do. They're way too potent. I still think that. And I think the damage on guns is way too weak. Again, similar to Halo. I believe that I started liking it when I first played Momentum Clash with my sidearm equipped. I even got here in my notes, kicked ass. Either way, yeah, so I felt like the sidearm was doing pretty good. Could take down people in like maybe 2 hits up close, which makes sense to me. I think that's how guns should work. It's a gun. After that, I jumped in with some of my friends in Classic Mix, found the bow that I had could 2-hit people in that mode, and fell in love with the bow. Since then, I've been solo queuing almost daily, and sometimes with my friends as well. I've gained a new respect for Crucible main players. I've played with a bunch of different loadouts. I've still probably stick with the bow and the sidearm the most, but I like bow and shotgun as well. You might even see that in the video. I've gotten to the point where I can reset my Valor rank once, and I've discovered the amount of loot that it gives is kind of ridiculous sometimes. It once gave me 10 enhancement cores for 1 rank up. I recommend if you're a newish player trying to get into Crucible, you should probably go ahead and grab yourself the Leviathan's Breath. It's a big-ass bow that uses heavy ammo, but the plus side is when you pick up heavy ammo in Crucible, it gives you 4 shots with that in comparison to the usual 2 you get for rocket launchers. If you want to use anything close range, like sidearms or shotguns, maybe an auto rifle here or there, I recommend sliding a lot, as you can continue your momentum in one direction while aiming a completely different direction without having to stop sprinting, or keeping the sprinting speed, I should say. With my 2 tips for noobs out of the way, I'd like to go ahead and say that I still think that it is way too chaotic. I think it would be way better without the extended supers, anything like Shield Bro, Hammer of Soul, Fists of Havoc, Golden Gun, the Arc Staff, Storm Trance, Daybreak, any of that stuff. I think that it should be a one and done ultimates or no ultimates at all, or at least momentum, where you have to earn your super, because there is way too much of that going around. I still think it's not as awesome as Gambit. I'm going to make another video about that probably. And I feel like there are some very, very trash maps involved in this, but there is a few really good ones. My favorite one's going to be Midtown. That one is freaking phenomenal. I love that map. And kind of a silly complaint here, but I think when you're in your inventory next to Shaxx and he's talking constantly, his enthusiasm is so annoying. He is constantly saying stuff that just sounds like bonkers off the wall. I mean, if you like Torque from Borderlands, though, you'll like it. For those of you that are wondering, my personal playstyle is I like to play the Titan. I love using the Superman ability, which is basically just an ability where you are able to launch yourself across the map and land in a position, creating a giant shockwave that can kill multiple players, but then you're immediately out of the super. You can go right back to doing whatever you're doing. So pull out your gun, start shooting people, bam, bam, bam. Next thing you know, everybody's dead. That subclass also gives you a Hulk Smash ability where you jump up in the air after you're sprinting and you push the melee button and you'll come crashing down, leaving another small shockwave. And I freaking love that ability. It pairs very well with shotguns, sidearms, or auto rifles because after you land, it gives you a buff to your weapon damage and you can just kill whoever's around you that you didn't kill with the melee. Besides that, I rock the impact grenades because why not? They're impact grenades and the other 2 options are kind of lame. I go with the tall barrier, and it pairs well with the bow. You can put it in front of you, walk in and out of the barrier with the bow drawn, and then unleash that wild arrow into the enemy's skull, and then hide right back behind your shield. It is pretty good in PvP. The thing that really ties my entire build together well, though, is these pair of exotic boots called the Dune Marchers. It allows any melees to chain lightning after sprinting for a short distance. It does work with Hulk Smash, which means if I come down and smash 2 players at the same time, both of them will chain lightning to nearby players, including each other, and it will cause them to both die from 1 melee attack, which is very rare in this game. They look freaking badass, especially with the new Husk Crushers ornament that I got for them. And on top of everything else they do, they make you run a little bit faster. Now, it's not that much, but it definitely is noticeable to some degree, even when you're in the tower. pretty nice. Some final things I'd like to say is I'm not going to be mentioning any Trials or Iron Banner except for right now because I've not actually tried those game modes. I've been around while they're available, but I was too chicken shit to try them yet because I'm not very good at PvP, I'm not going to lie. I haven't tried every single Crucible mode because I haven't been playing long enough for the rotation to hit every single one of them, but my favorites have to be Momentum Clash, probably. I would like to try a Momentum Control, but I'm not sure if that even exists. Also, I'd like to say that sticking with your team makes a huge difference. Basically, that means that strategy in this game is actually rewarded. A lot of first-person shooters feel like they have no strategy involved. You just aim, and the better you are at shooting, the more kills you're going to get. That's not necessarily the case with this game. I would love an Overwatch or TF2 style push the cart mode, although most people would probably disagree with me on that, but I just feel like it would fit well in the Destiny universe. I feel like it is a pretty good game mode. The cons are, as I've already said, that it's too chaotic. My favorite mode isn't always playable because it's on rotation, which kind of sucks. It lacks an amount of depth that can keep you going, like Battlefield would, for instance. And you don't see like what you're gonna get when you progress. And you're not really gonna unlock anything. You're just gonna unlock new loot, which you might have already rolled before. The upcoming progression is way too vague. I had no idea I was going to get those 10 enhancement cores until it just gave them to me, which feels more like I'm playing a lottery than it does like I'm playing an RPG, if that makes sense. Yeah, so that's everything I had to say about Crucible. I would also like to ask everybody in the comments today, what is your first free-to-play multiplayer game that you've really gotten invested in? Mine had to probably be RuneScape, but some honorable mentions would have to be like MapleStory or Combat Arms, probably. And with that, I'll leave you guys to have a good day.